Hi, I'm Betty Brewer, and it's been my privilege to serve here as President and CEO of Minnetrista for almost 15 years. And with me is Karen Vincent,
Yes.
Director of Special Projects. She's been with Minnetrista
almost 32 years.
Yes, longer than I've been. And she has been running this show. It's the 30th.
It is the 30th.
Annual Minnetrista Juried Art Show and Sale. And Karen, normally we would be doing this one an evening. We'd have all of our friends around us.
Yes.
Our artists would be here.
Yes, all their friends and family.
We'd have a glass of wine, some great food.
We'd have a party.
It would be a party. These are not the days that they usually would be. And so we have to adapt.
Yes, we do.
But we still want to make sure everyone gets to see such great art from such great Indiana artists. And we want to make sure everyone gets to know who the award recipients are for this show. So we're taping it, and you'll be able to watch it over and over again. Okay. But we're also going to have a great PowerPoint presentation on our website. You're going to be able to go in and see all of this art. It's going to be fabulous. But I'm going to start with some statistics for this show. I understand we had entries from 38 towns.
Absolutely,
38
yes.
towns, all Indiana.
No, one from Cincinnati, Ohio.
One from Cincinnati, all right.
It has an Indiana connection.
There we go. All of it has an Indiana connection.
Yes.
We had 109 artists enter the show this year. 81 were accepted by our juror, which was about 74% of our artists. They entered 285 pieces.
Yes, it's a lot of artwork.
And we have 125 pieces in the show.
We do.
44% of all that was entered. So I'd like you to tell us a little bit about our juror.
Absolutely. Wyatt LeGrand is a painter. It was a great pleasure to meet him and work with him, and he was in awe of everything that we had here. He teaches 7th to 12th grade art at Bloomfield Senior High School in Bloomfield, Indiana, his hometown. He said since he returned to his hometown in 2009, he has dedicated himself to creating artwork in the place he grew up in, sharing experiences with his students and community. So, as I said, he was glad to be here. It was hard work for him, but he did a fantastic job.
He sure did.
So, and I have, he wrote a lovely juror statement, and I had just a couple of quotes from this. I think it was very thoughtful, and they're great. He said, "My selection of exhibitors and award winners was a laborious process, but ultimately a very rewarding experience. I was most impressed with the confidence and style amongst the entries and the diversity in both subject matter and media. The sheer volume and scope of entries made for a tall order, but I'm thrilled with what I believe is a cohesive exhibition featuring Indiana's most capable artists." Now, he also talked about the folks who actually didn't get in the show. He said, "I'd like to acknowledge that many fine artworks not included in this exhibition are outstanding parts of that particular artist's larger body of work. Therefore, I hope viewers of this year's show use the selected artworks as a starting point for deeper investigation into their own work process and ideas."
That's awesome.
Yes.
This show has had some fabulous jurors.
It has.
Over the years, and we really appreciate the hard work.
We do.
And everything.
And it has been a pleasure to work with every one of them.
Absolutely. That's fabulous. So come along with us. We're going to introduce you to our award recipients. Well, at least their works of art. Our first award category goes to our avocational artists. Our first award of merit goes to Brad Fields for Old School Chucks. Karen, tell us a little bit about Brad.
Well, Brad is from Fishers, and I do appreciate the fact that for all the years he's entered, he's always the very first entry I get, which is kind of fun. So this is what Brad has said about himself. "Watercolor allows me to get those happy accidents that are thrown down on the paper and articulate the line or form flawlessly. A miracle if there ever was one." And here's what I have to say about this. Who doesn't like a pair of old, well-worn Chuck Taylors?
Ready? Okay, our next award of merit goes to Teddy D. Lepley III for Haircut.
And Teddy is a recent Ball State graduate who studied abroad last year. When he came back to wow the jurors again. Teddy has won multiple awards in the last 3 or 4 years at Minnetrista, so we're glad to see him back.
Our next award of merit goes to Arthur Jaggard for The Waters Above, The Waters Below.
And Arthur is from Anderson, and I will say this about his works are very colorful and have lots of motion, and I think, and I know actually because I talked to him, that's what attracted the juror, because he also uses a lot of color and motion in his paintings.
Final award of merit in the avocational category is to Chris Minnick for Route 66 Ruin, Gallup, New Mexico. I traveled Route 66 a few years ago.
You might have seen this, yes. So Chris lives in Indianapolis, and I had a long discussion with the juror about photography, and he's very picky about his photography, and he says that he looks at it through a painter's eye. So he was really taken with Chris's photograph because of the composition of the photograph.
Excellent. Our third place award winner in the avocational category is to Julie Kate Thorson for Organize Your Thoughts.
And Julia's from Muncie. She's a professor at Ball State, but not a professor of art. She's a professor of philosophy. Yeah, and I can see that in her work over the years. I always look forward to what she enters because her work is always fresh and new and different. It's always a pleasure.
Okay. Our second place recipient in avocational goes to Steve Minnick. It's Flimsy Construction.
And Steve is from Muncie. He did this in watercolor and pencil, and jurors obviously like his constructions. He also won a prize last year for a very similar thing. But I do have a request of Steve, though. I want him to enter some of his photos again.
Okay. Finally, our first place award for avocational artists goes to, and you've heard this name before, Teddy D. Lovely III for People Love.
So the juror looked at this book that Teddy did, doubled back to look at it again, and then without any hesitation at all, not only accepted it for the show, but said, this is first place.
Wow. And you know, normally, Karen, we wouldn't do this.
Exactly.
Because it would be covered, but we'll just show you a few of these pages. So you get a sense of the details and everything. And then, you know, the back of the book, there's actually a little essay by the artist on what he means by people love. It's really very nice. Okay, ready. Now we have the professional category. And our first award of merit goes to David B. Johnson for Walking to the Convenience Store.
And David is from Muncie and is a professor at Ball State, has entered the show for many, many years, has won many prizes, and has always encouraged his students to enter also.
We appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Our next award of merit for professional goes to Cheryl Lowe for Encore.
And Cheryl is from Indianapolis. She's entered our show a number of times. If you've ever seen a painting, a watercolor painting of car bumpers, that's most likely Cheryl. She does such a great job with light and with shine.
Our next professional award of merit goes to Jean McLeish for Watermarks.
And Jean is from Mooresville. She works both in oils and in watercolors. And she says that she creates images that reflect her deep love of nature, as well as her fascination with color and light.
You can see that.
Yes, you can.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Our final award of merit for the professional category goes to Carol Strock-Wasson, Yellow Sky and Thunderclouds.
And Carol is from Union City, and it's her skies that I love most in all her paintings. She does such a great job with those. She, like a lot of others, has been a great supporter of the show over the years. And she teaches and encourages her students to come. And a lot of times she will bring in artwork from 5 or 6 students.
We love Carol.
Yes, we do, for a lot of reasons.
All right, third place professional goes to Mary Ann Ray for Old Woman and Chickens. Fancily dressed chickens, I might note.
Yes, they are. They're lovely. Mary Ann is from Muncie, and she's also entered our show for very many years. Always three-dimensional, always interesting. The juror loved both of her pieces. She has another one in here. And he said when he looks at a three-dimensional piece, sculpture, or something like that, he wants it to be interesting from all angles. And Mary Ann's are.
Definitely. Our second place recipient in the professional category is Brian Gordy for Red Ears and Goldfish 1.
And Brian is also from Muncie and a long-time supporter and entrant. He also helped us establish our other juried art show, Open Space Art About the Land. And what the juror especially liked about this painting were the fish and the way they do look like they're underwater. He said, the juror said, that doesn't always happen.
Okay. First place professional goes to Mark Burkett for These Are the Days 2.
Mark is from Mooresville, and he said he usually paints in plein air and uses his oil paintings as a source material for his woodblock prints, which I found very interesting. The juror spent quite a long time with this one, with his nose just a few inches from it, looking at every single detail. And there are lots of details in this.
We do have one final award that's been added to our list this year, the Mayho Thorcon Award of Merit. This is courtesy of 4 anonymous donors, and they wanted it to go to a female avocational artist. So the winner of this award is Sally Hughes for Zinnias.
Yes. And I will say that the name of the award is a combination of the names of the 4 sponsors of this award, which I thought was great. So Sally talks about painting the mundane. And she said if she's learned anything about painting is that you can take the most mundane subjects and make them into something beautiful. And she succeeded, I think.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us for this recorded version of our award ceremony. We just wanted to make sure that everybody got to see such wonderful Indiana art. This will be online. We'll be pushing it out through our social media channels. You'll be able to go to our website. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to see the entire show piece by piece in a PowerPoint. So to enjoy that, and you'll also be able to get information on the artists through our program. Thank you so much again for being with us.